Real quickly before we begin, I want to thank this video's sponsor, CarMarshal.com. CarMarshal.com can save you lots of money on buying used or new vehicles, cars, trucks, school buses. If you want to save money, I'll have a link in the description down below. I know I'm going to...
Breaking news in Montgomery County, where we're told a police officer shot and killed a deputy inside his home. This happened in the town of Stagecoach, which is in between Tomball and Magnolia. Let's get right to Brett Buffington live on the scene. Brett?
Amy, we just learned new information from law enforcement here. The Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez has arrived at this scene. We now know that the suspect in this shooting was an off-duty Harris County Sheriff's deputy, and he was the brother of the man who shot and killed him, according to law enforcement here. We just learned that from the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. Obviously a very fluid situation. I want to show you some video we shot earlier today when Air 11 was over this house. You can see the immense law enforcement presence here. We learned earlier this afternoon that this was reported as a home invasion, a burglar inside a home, when a police officer here from this town, from Stagecoach, pulled up to his house and went inside the house. The sheriff's office here, they were called to the scene. When they got here, they told us that they found the body of a man dead inside a bathroom. We just learned and just confirmed from the sheriff that the two people, the shooter and the victim in this, were brothers, and they believe that this wasn't a burglary at all, instead a domestic situation. Investigators, they're here, they're trying to figure out exactly what happened. That shooter, the police officer from Stagecoach, he has been taken to the hospital for an unrelated medical issue, we're being told. He is being treated for that and then will be questioned by investigators with the Montgomery County Sheriff's Department. The Texas Rangers, they are also assisting in this investigation. A very convoluted story here this evening that law enforcement, the police, the Sheriff's Department here is trying to sort out. Of course, it's a story that we will stay on top of. We're being told, though, that deputy who is dead here, he was off duty and was a longtime veteran of the Harris County Sheriff's Department. They are awaiting notification of his next of kin. They're trying to tell his family before they release his name tonight. Of course, the story will stay on top of it as it develops overnight. For now, though, we are live in Stagecoach in Montgomery County. Brett Buffington, KHOU 11 News.
Quite a bit to sort out.
Texas cop arrested for murder after shooting and killing his own brother, who's also a cop. A police officer has been arrested on murder charges after he shot and killed his own brother, who is also a police officer. By Matt Agarist, May 26, 2018. Stagecoach, Texas. A tragic scene unfolded in a small Texas town Friday evening in which a Texas police officer shot and killed his own brother inside his home. His brother was also a cop. Although there were initially no arrests, after an investigation, the killer cop was arrested and charged with murder. According to police, they were responding to the home of Stagecoach police officer, Robert Lee, a 35-year law enforcement veteran, on a potential breaking and entering call. The call came in around 5:18 p.m. As the Chronicle reported, an off-duty Stagecoach police officer allegedly shot and killed a Harris County Sheriff's deputy who he said broke into his home near Magnolia Friday evening, authorities said. However, when police arrived and found Deputy Rocky Lee, 57, a 26-year veteran of the Harris County Sheriff's Office, dead on the bathroom floor of Robert's home, the story changed. The exact circumstances surrounding the shooting are under investigation, said Lieutenant Scott Spencer of the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office Friday night. We don't believe there was a burglary at the residence. View image on Twitter. View image on Twitter. Marla Carter. At Marley ABC 13. This was just released by at HCSO Texas. It is with heavy hearts that we report the passing of Deputy Rocky Lee, 57. A 26-year HCSO veteran, Deputy Lee served at the 1200 Baker Street Jail. He was shot to death Friday night in Stagecoach at ABC 13 Houston. 1:13 a.m., May 26, 2018. 5. See Marla Carter's other tweets. Twitter adds info and privacy. Highlighting the difference between what happens when a police officer is killed by a civilian and what happens when it's one of their own. The suspect was not immediately arrested. Police did admit rather quickly, however, that Rocky Lee was killed by his brother and that the initial version of the story involving a burglary was inaccurate. View image on Twitter. View image on Twitter. Ed Gonzalez. At Sheriff_HCSO. One of our at HCSO Texas deputies was shot and killed by his brother, a current Stagecoach PD officer. Unknown what led to the shooting, but the initial version involving a burglary is inaccurate. Hope to release his name shortly. #HowNews #Lesum. 11:27 p.m., May 25, 2018. 33. 37 people are talking about this. Twitter adds info and privacy. This evening was a tragic situation, especially when you are talking about circumstances involving two brothers, Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez said. Although the investigation is currently ongoing, Robert Lee was booked into the Montgomery County Jail late last night and charged with murder. According to police, after he killed his brother, Robert Lee had a medical episode and experienced blood pressure problems for which he had to be treated. At this point we're still trying to gather more information as to the circumstances surrounding the shooting, but our thoughts and prayers are with the family at this time, David Cuevas, president of the Harris County Deputies Organization said. Any loss to the Harris County Sheriff's Office family is a loss to all of us. According to police, the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office and the Texas Rangers are also conducting their own investigation. Sadly, police officers shooting and killing their own family members, even their own children, is a reality. Police officers are still susceptible to the same rage and domestic battles as everyone else, and oftentimes, this can manifest into tragic scenarios like this one. All too often, however, when police officers do kill their own family members, they are given special privileges and even let off. As TFTP previously reported, a Palm Beach sheriff's deputy shot and killed his own son, who was also aspiring to be a police officer. He was not arrested and merely given paid leave. In spite of the fact that his son was unarmed at the time of the shooting, authorities ruled that Deputy Shatara K. Shatara was justified when he killed his son Kamis Shatara, 21, during a domestic dispute early Christmas Eve morning. In 2016, TFTP reported on cop in Philadelphia who shot and nearly killed his own son. In spite of shooting his son in the back twice, police immediately called the shooting accidental and no arrests were made. However, that officer was eventually arrested months later because the official accidental discharge cover-up story began to unravel.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I just wanted you to know that I am using this stuff under fair use. And also remember to like and subscribe this channel. Also too, keep in mind I do not make any money on YouTube. This is 5 hours work a day, you know, fighting for freedom. And you can donate with PayPal and Patreon. I just want you to think about this. If everybody gives to PayPal and Patreon, Patreon is every month. Actually, PayPal you can do every month. I have 12,000 subscribers. If everybody gives, I can quit my regular job and go full-time investigations on Charlotte County and possibly even more and beyond. So just keep that in mind. If everybody helps out, I can go full-time doing this. Thanks.